I'll show you how to proceed from this page, which is the page on Makerworld of the model. First of all, no installation is needed because I use Blender, and there is a portable version of Blender available on their website, so you can download it and use Blender from there. What is a portable version of a software? A portable version of a software is a folder full of all the files the software is made of, from which you can start the software and use it without installation. English is not my mother tongue, okay? So I'll do my best to speak clear English, to be clear to you, but I apologize if I'll do any mistakes on the way through the end of this video, okay? Okay. First of all, go in the customization section in the description of the model and click on Blender. This is a link that will redirect you to the blender.org page, which is the official Blender page. Don't download Blender from here because this download button will download the installation file. You will need the portable one, so click on this download button here. This is the download tab. Click here and click on portable.zip file if you want to download the portable version, or installer if you want to install Blender for future usage. I'll go with the portable one and download and save the file. Once the download finishes, open the file. The portable version of Blender, I'll make here a folder. The portable version of Blender is inside a .zip file. In this situation I use WinRAR, which is a third-party software, okay? But if you have not any third-party software, you can manage the .zip file with your operating system. On Windows, for example, with a compressed folder, okay? Anyway, you need to extract the zip file. Okay, once the extraction is completed, you can open the folder, and here are all the files that makes Blender. Okay, from here you can start up Blender. First, before you do this, you need to download the generator from Makerworld. So come back to the page of my model on Makerworld and click on Download STL. Here you can download the generator.blend file and save the file. Okay, now we have both the generator and the software. Now open Blender from this file here, blender.execute. So once Blender is open, you will see the splash screen, which is this colorful screen window here, okay, and the Blender interface. You don't mind anything of this. You can click away from the splash screen to hide it, and then click on File, Open, and go to the generator, that blend file which you downloaded just before, and click Open. Now you can see the generator file, which I made for you. The interface of the generator file is split into three main sections, which is this big one, which is the viewport, in which you can see your model and your customization, so what you are doing. This little section here, which is the file explorer, in which you can select the preset you want to start from, and this environment file eventually. And this is the modules or modifiers tab, in which you can edit all the buttons and the fields, so the values that makes your customization. First of all, how to use the file explorer. Here on the right side of the file explorer you can see these eye icons, open or close eye icons. Okay, you need to click on the open one to hide the corresponding file, and click on the closed one to show the corresponding file. So if you want to edit or see the corresponding preset, you need to hide all the other presets and show only that. For example, if I want to look at to my ally and my only forever one preset, I should close this eye and open this, so I can see that preset. Okay. If you want to edit a preset, you need to click on it on the browser editor here, and you will see an orange outline all around the model here. If you don't like this orange outline, you can click away from the model on the gray screen, and that orange outline will disappear, but you anyway will have selected that preset. Why you need the preset you are going to edit selected? Because if when you select anything, this tab here, which is the modifier tab, will update and will show you all the modules that make that preset. Speaking of the modules, they are divided into two main types. The base panel one, which will control the overall shape of your model, and the text one, that will allow you to control any aspect of your text. Okay, the base panel allows you to choose between 4 different base panels. The number 1 has no decoration, so you can choose this number 1 base panel if you don't like the decoration even in relief or engraved inside of the panel. The number 3, I'll show you the number 2 in a second. The number 3 has the decoration engraved inside of the panel. This version of the base panel will allow you to take advantage of your build plate texture, because it has a flat front surface, so you can print it facing down on the build plate. The number 4 has the decoration in relief, and the decoration together with the main shape of the model are one single piece, so you cannot print this model facing down on the build plate, because of course there are no full size flat front surfaces. Okay, to avoid this problem, so to allow you to take advantage of your build plate texture even with the decoration in relief, I made this version here, the base panel number 2, which has these little holes that will allow you to interlock the decoration you will print apart inside of this base shape, okay, inside of the panel. This way, this panel has a flat front surface, so you can print it facing down on the build plate, taking advantage of your build plate texture. Now I'll show you how to edit and customize the presets I already made for you. If you want to edit the base panel, you can do it in any moment you like by changing this value here or by clicking on these arrows on the left and on the right of this field. Okay, if you want to edit the text, you need to open the text module by clicking on this arrow here. And here you can see all the settings you can edit or activate and deactivate that will control your text. Okay, first of all, you can see the string one, which of course is the text we want to insert in. For example, we can go with I love you, for example. Okay. You can insert the text in 3 different fonts I selected for you. You can change the font by changing the text module, because any font has its own text module. In this situation, the text module is the one linked to the B font. If you want to change this font, you can click here and change the module. In this situation, you can choose maybe the Garamond module. The Garamond module will insert the text according to the Garamond font. You can choose between B font, Garamond and Times New Roman. I give a suggestion to you. B font is a more simple font. This font can be printed with smaller sizes. So, for example, with 10mm size, because it is more simple. And you know, 3D printers struggle with printing text. If you choose any of the other two fonts, for example, Times New Roman, as you can see, they are more complex. Both Times New Roman and Garamond are more complex. Okay, Times New Roman is also italic for you to choose. Okay, so I suggest in this situation, when you want to use Times New Roman and Garamond, to make the text as big as possible. In this situation, maybe 20, 20, or maybe even more, 24 or 25. With B font you can go with smaller sizes because of course it is more simple. In fact, you will see with the other preset, I choose this font to make fine details, okay, little details, little text all around the shape, because it will allow you to print good text in smaller sizes. We will go with B font with size of 15. Okay, of course the size value will allow you to change the size of the font, of course. Character spacing. The character spacing is a multiplier that will change the space between characters. Here you can see if I click with the left mouse button and drag to the left to increase the value in the field, you can see the character spacing will increase. Okay. Of course, you can change the value in the fields in two ways: by clicking with the left mouse button and dragging on the left to reduce the value, on the right to increase it, or by clicking only once on the field and inserting a value you like. For example, 0.95. Word spacing. Word spacing is another multiplier which controls the spacing between the words. So if I increase it, the space between characters will be the same and will increase only the space between words. Curve. Curve will allow you to change the curve along with your text is inserted. Okay, because in this generator all the text lays on a curve. If you want to see all the curves available, you can go into the environment file, click on the environment module inside of this file, and enable show curves, and then click on the gray background to hide the orange outline, and you can see all the curves. The curves are 7. Yeah, they are 7. They are heart inner. The heart inner curve is this one. Okay? This one. Heart outer. The heart outer curve starts here, goes all along the outer edge of the heart and stops here. Okay? The infinite bottom center. Infinite bottom center is this curve here. Infinite bottom right is this curve here, from here all the way around to here. Infinite inner left is this curve here. Infinite inner right is this curve here. This inner curve here. Infinite middle, of course, is this curve in the middle of the infinite shape. Offset. Offset will allow you to control the flowing of the text along the curve. So, if you see the curves here, you can click on offset and drag, and the text will slide along the curve. So you can decide the exact position along that curve of the text. This lighting is looping. So when you reach the end of a curve, it will continue sliding from its start. You can see it better in the heart outer. So I already said you the heart outer curve starts from here and ends here. If you go on in the sliding, you can see when a character reaches the end, it will come back in the start of the curve. Okay? Okay. Infinite middle. Resolution. The resolution controls the resolution of your text. If you increase it, the resolution will be worse. Instead, if you decrease it, the resolution will be better, so higher. I suggest you, if you don't have a very powerful computer, to leave it as 0.1 millimeter or higher. I can put it at 1 millimeters or maybe 3, and as you can see, I can reach low poly text. Extrude distance. The thickness of the shape is 2.2 millimeters. So if you insert here an extruding distance lower than 2.2 millimeters, the text will be engraved, but the hole will not pass through all the shape. So in this case, you can choose to have the text engraved, but not all the way through the panel. Okay. On the other hand, if you insert values greater than 2.2 millimeters, the text will be engraved all the way through. So you will have a hole of in the shape of the character all the way through the panel. I suggest you to not use 2.2 millimeters as extrude distance, because when you will apply the text on the build plate to make the hole, it may cause some errors, because of course it is exact the same thickness of the model. So go higher if you want to pass through with the text all the way through your model, or lower if you want only to engrave your text. Okay, vertical offset. Vertical offset is an adjustment that will allow you to control the position along the curve vertically of your text. So for example, if I increase it, the text will go down along the curve, or if I decrease it, the text will go up along the curve. Going up or down by increasing or decreasing the value inside this vertical offset depends on the curve. So maybe if I use the infinite middle, increasing will cause the text by going down, and decreasing will make the text going up. But in another curve, it may be opposite. Okay, you can try. Okay. Switch direction. With switch direction is used to make the text slide along the curve in the opposite direction. As you can see here, when I increase the offset, the text will slide in this direction. If I click switch direction and I increase the offset, the text will slide in the opposite direction. This is very useful because on the same curve you can insert, for example, I love you up here, or in this direction, or down here, or in this direction. Okay? So you can click switch direction to change the direction of the sliding of the text. Okay? Okay. Flip text. Flip text can be useful when you insert the text in some curves, because flip text will make the text upside down. Okay, so in some curves, when you insert the text, you may want the text to be along the curve or on the other side. Okay, maybe you can use switch direction, and the switch of the direction will cause the text to be on the other side, so on the outer side of the curve. In that situation, to fix this problem, you can click flip text and the text will be positioned inside of the curve. For example, I'll make heart outer. In this situation, as you can see here, I love you is upside down. I can click flip text, then I can drag it up here, I can change the vertical offset, and I will have the text in the right position, in the position I want. Okay, so flip text is a fixing check mark that you can use together with switch direction, okay, to have full control of the position of your text. Okay, then apply and support. These two buttons are the latest you have to click. The apply button will make the generator calculate the engraving of the text inside the base model. Engraving the text inside the base model will be heavy to calculate. So I made the appliance of the text apart from all the other settings. This way you can edit your text in a very smooth way, and then only when you finished the edit, not only of this module, but of all the modules of the text, okay, you can click in each of them the apply button, and any of the modules, the text modules, you will be applied, okay? This support button will calculate automatically the supports of the islands of the characters. Of course, you need the support only if you insert here an extrude distance greater than 2.2 millimeters, because of course only if you have the text engraved all the way through the mesh, that pieces of the characters will be islands. One important thing, I put here the character spacing to allow you to change the spacing between characters, not only for aesthetic reasons, but also for technical reasons. You should avoid character collision. So in this situation, the O and the U are colliding, so you should increase the character spacing at least to 1 to avoid the collision, or maybe you can put it also to 1.1. Okay, so avoid character collision because it will cause some issue. If you have read the description of the printing profiles here, you maybe have noticed this word here. This phrase here. You can find the version without the date in the printing profile. You can find the version with the date for you to change into your and your partner special one inside the generator. Okay, if you only want to use one of these printing profiles and then add this date, you can do it by choosing your printing profile as I shown you before. So hide this, for example, and we will hide also the curves, and maybe choose this one. Our love will last forever. Okay. Here you can see the date module. In this generator at the moment, the date module is not active. Okay? This screen here, this screen icon here will determine if the module, which is related to, is active or not. In this situation, I leave you here this date module I prepared for you, but I leave here not active. If you want to insert your date, you can select the preset you want and then activate the date, and then, for example, it is here, and then change this date to wherever you want. For example, the 9th of January 2004. Okay, the 9th of January 2004. Then you can apply the text and insert the support. Okay, when you end your customization, you should go from up to down into all the text module you inserted, and then click on apply and then on support for any of the text modules. So apply also here and support. Anytime you click on apply or support, the generator will make all the calculations needed. So you could need, maybe you need to wait some time. After you applied and supported all the text you inserted in, okay, you will click on the model, both in the viewport or in the file explorer. Then click on file up here, export STL. Here choose the path in which you want to insert save your STL file. On the scale, click and insert 100, include selection only, and apply modifiers. This should be also already checked. And then export STL. Okay, first of all, here it will say you that there are some non-manifold edges. This is absolutely normal because the appliance of the text will generate these non-manifold edges sometimes. You can click and repair. This will automatically repair your non-manifold edges without any changes to your model. After this, you need to choose the printing orientation. If you want to print this model facing up or facing down, in this case I used the in relief version of the base panel, so I have to print it facing up. So I click on the model, click on this button here, lay on face, and click the behind face. So this slicer will put the model facing up for me. After this, I click here, then click on this button here, arrange all objects, and I'll set all the settings this way: auto rotate for arrangement, and all the others unchecked, and click arrange. This will make my model with the correct rotation. Okay, then I click and drag and align this corner here, bottom left corner, to the gimbal here. This way I can print the model. Okay, then the slicing options. Go all the way down here, click on avoid crossing walls and only one wall on first layer. And then go on strength and click on here, top shell thickness 0, top shell layer 4, bottom shell layer 4. This is needed to reduce the transparency of the piece, of course, because it will be lit from a very near light source. And sparse infill density 10, because with 4 top shell layers, more than 10 is not needed. So you will reduce the filament used to print this model. And stop. These are all the settings you need to change. Then you can click slice plate with your filament setting up here. So you need to choose your filament setting here, then click on slice plate and you're ready to go. You can print the plate. Okay, now I'll show you how to create your fully custom front panel from scratch. Okay, so I'll go through all the steps you need to pass through to make your customized front plate. Okay, I'll go with the blank preset. The blank preset is the preset without any text, so fully customizable. Okay, I'll go here and I'll choose the base panel number 3 because I like it. Okay, then I want to add my text. How can I add the text? I click on this plus icon here, this plus button, add modifier, and click on geometry nodes and click here. Then I click on this icon here and choose the module I want to insert in. I want to insert some text. Okay, I need to choose the font of the text I want to insert. I'll go with Times New Roman in this situation. And as you can see, some starting text will be added. Okay, I'll click here and insert my text. For example, you are my life. I don't know. For example, you are my life. Okay. I then, because I'm using Times New Roman, I'll put here the greatest size I can. So maybe 25. These characters are over the outline, the edges of the model, so I need to move them using vertical offset because I need to move them down along their normal to the curve. So I use vertical offset to change the values by dragging, clicking and dragging. By small amounts, you need also to press the shift key on the keyboard. So if you press the shift key on the keyboard and then click on the field you want to change and drag, you can see that the changes are smaller, so you can make fine tunes. Okay, I'll put the text right here. Okay, I want this string to be all the way around this piece. How can I have this effect? I can reach this effect by increasing the character spacing, for example. I don't want the characters to be too much far one from the other. So also with the character spacing, I can change the word spacing. So I can get this effect here. As you can see here, the F is too big. So I need to reduce this size to 22, for example. Okay. And I want to slide this text along the curve. So I control the offset and I make them right here. I think this F is too near to this edge, so I change the vertical offset to make it centered. Okay, you are my life. Maybe this is too small as a phrase. I love you. Okay. So I can make it to 1, make it this to 1, change the offset. Okay, I like this version more. Maybe we can put it here. You are my wife. I like you. And then change the I love you and change the vertical offset. Okay. Okay. And now we can leave the text like this. I like this high resolution text, so I don't change the resolution. I like the text engraved all the way through the plate, so I leave the extrude distance to 3 millimeters. I don't need to switch direction. In this situation, I can leave this way. Okay, I want to add my special date, the special date of me and my wife. Okay, so I want to add another text module. I click on Add Modifier, Geometry Nodes. I can close this for better viewing all the nodes. Click on this icon and choose the font. This time I want the text to be smaller to create this design effect, so I want to use bfont, because bfont is a more simple text font, and the text will be more simple, and so I can make it smaller. Okay, my special date may be 18th of May 1978. I don't know. Okay, this is my date. Size 10. I don't want this data to be along this curve, but maybe I want this data to be up here. So along the heart inner curve, I choose heart inner. The heart inner curve starts here, so I want the text to be here. So I increase the offset until it reaches the right position here. But in this situation, the text is upside down, so I click on Flip Text. 18th of May 1978. Okay. Then the text is too low along the curve, so I'll increase the vertical offset until it reaches the position I like. Then, due to the vertical offset, the characters are too far one from each other, so I'll reduce the character spacing until a value I like, maybe 91. Okay. Then I can adjust the text where I like it. Then the word spacing, in this situation there are no words because there is a single word, because there are no spaces, so this will have no changes. The resolution I like 0.1, the extrude distance I like the text all the way through, or maybe as to show you how it works, I can put this here to 1.5 millimeters. This means the engraving will be of 1.5 millimeters inside of the plane. I can leave anything like this. So I like this plate, this front plate, and I want to print this plate. Okay, so I come back to the first module and click on Apply. Then I click on Support because I chose to engrave the text all the way through, so the islands need support, and as you can see, the support are applied. Then I go to the other text from up to bottom and click Apply. And then I don't click on support because in this situation for this text I don't need support, because the text is engraved but not all the way through the plate. And I can print the plate this way. I click on it on the viewer, on the viewport, or here on the file. I click on File, Export STL, click on Selection Only, Scale 100, apply modifiers. Maybe down here I can change the name, so you are my life.stl, export STL. Then I can open Bambu Studio. For example, this time I use Bambu Studio. Then the same way, click on Repair, this is not needed. This time I want to print this piece facing down on the build plate, but you of course need to be careful, because of course all these engraved surfaces, will be printed as bridge. So if you know your printer is able to print these pieces, these decoration, all as bridge, you can print it upside down. Otherwise, you need to print this front plate facing up, of course. In this situation, I'll put it upside down. Okay. Then I click on here, arrange, uncheck this, and check this. Arrange. And then Bambu Slicer will, Bambu Studio will will adjust the rotation and the position of the object for me. Here on quality, I'll go with only one wall on first layer and avoid crossing walls. Then in strength, I'll go to top shell layers 4, top shell thickness 0, bottom shell layers 4, and then 10% of sparse infill density, and slice plate. Of course, printing these decoration engraved as bridge will result in a, I think, less good looking result. So in this situation in which you have both these engraved decoration and this text up here, you maybe should prefer printing this facing up. I hope this video helped you in editing your front plate. I hope you will like this model, you will like the work I did to make the generator, to make you able to make your own custom plates. I hope you like all the work I did in designing this piece, this model, because for me at least it was a lot of work, and I ask you, if you want, if you like my work, if you enjoy my model, to give me a boost on Makerworld. Okay? Thank you for listening to me, and bye bye.